spreadsheet, sticky notes, guesswork. If that's your patch panel documentation, NetBox can fix it. But patch panels in NetBox can feel confusing at first. Front ports, rear ports, internal mappings. It looks complicated, but it's really just one simple concept. And once you understand it, cable tracing, cable terminations, and structured cabling all click into place. Today, using this practical diagram, I'll show you exactly how NetBox models patch panels and would add them in our infrastructure. In this diagram, we have two racks, rack 1 and rack 2. In each rack, we have a switch that we need to interconnect them. To facilitate this connection, we have a 24-port copper patch panel in each rack. Also, I added this picture, which will make it easier for us to visualize the various components of our patch panel. In NetBox, a switch interface is simple. It's just an active network port. But a patch panel is passive. It is just a pass-through copper or fiber. What that means is that NetBox needs to model this pass-through behavior. To do this, we need to understand three key concepts that relate to patch panels. First, front ports. Second, rear ports. And third, the internal mappings between the front and rear ports. When you stand in front of a rack that has a patch panel installed, the ports on the patch panel that you see from the front of the rack, those are the front ports. These are where you plug patch cables from devices. So the front port would be the user-facing side. In this patch panel diagram, the ports in which we have the gray cables are the front ports. Front ports must always map to a rear port. The rear ports are the back of the patch panel. These will connect to other patch panels like you are seeing here with the blue cable, or to cross-connect. Typically, these are permanent cables that are run over cable trays or conduits. So think of it this way. A cable plugged into front port 1, for example, does not magically know where to go. The mapping to rear port 1 is what tells NetBox that this front port connects to this rear port, and based on the other cable connections we have, we're able to trace our cables end to end. Now that we understand the various components of the patch panel, we can go to NetBox and set this up. NetBox models patch panels as devices. What that means is that we go through the same procedure in creating a device. We need to define a manufacturer. We need to create a device type. We need a device role. Then we can add the device. So let's go to devices. Then manufacturers, we add a manufacturer. We call this generic. Slug, we can call this our generic devices. Then we create. Next, we need to add a device type. We can add this manually, or we can import a device from the NetBox community device type library. What I would do is that I would add a patch panel manually so that we can reinforce the concept between front ports, rear ports, and internal mappings. Then we'll look at how we can import this from our device library. So we select a manufacturer, generic, model, these are 24-port patch panel. Slug, right here. Height is 1U, and that is all that we need. We create. Now we have our generic 24-port patch panel. If we look at the tabs, we have device type, journal, changelog. Well, there's nothing like front port or rear ports. So how do we get those? We add a component. Now we can add our front port, rear port. I will start with front port, and I will do this because I want to reinforce the concept between front port, rear port, and internal mapping. So name port 1, label port 1. Type, we have a couple of copper types and we have a couple of fiber optic. In our case, this port should be a regular RJ45. What that means is that we need 8 positions. The connector should have 8 physical slots, which are the positions where we can place contacts. And all of those 8 positions should actually be populated with metal contact. So we need 8P, 8 positions, and 8C, 8 contacts. You select that. Choose a color. Now, rear port is a required field, but we don't have any. So if we try creating, we get an error. This field is required. So you can see the logic between the mapping. What we'll do is that we'll go back and we create a rear port, port 1. Label port 1. Type 8PHC, color, we give red, and we say that this is in our first position right here. Then position 1, we create. Once you are done with this, you can come to front port 1, label port 1, type 8P, 8C, color red. Then we can select the rear port 1, which is in position 1. This is how we map the front port to the rear port, i.e. our internal mapping. But now we have one port, and this patch panel should be 24 ports. What that means is that we need to repeat this process 23 times. Well, there must be a better way of doing this. And indeed, there is. We can just go to the NetBox community device type library, search for the kind of device type. So in this case, we have our 24-port copper patch panel. And if we look at this, manufacturer, generic, that is what we created, model, 24-port copper patch panel, slag, the height, and we have our front port name, type, and we have a mapping between the front ports and the rear port. And we create these rear ports here. So the same thing that we did manually. In this case, all we do is that we go to device types, import, we paste this here, we submit, and we import our 24-port copper patch panel, which will have our front ports and our rear port. So now we've added the manufacturer, we've added device type. Third, we need a device role before we can add our device. So the role, we call this patch panel, slag. It's not a VM role. That is all that we need. Now that we have our device role created, we can add our device. So what we'll do is that if we go to our racks, in our CRAD DC, we have our compute rack and our network rack. We will add 124-port patch panel in each rack. You can actually just click on this rack. Then if we want to place this here, go to our device. Then we give this a name. It's our first patch panel in our compute rack. Device role, this is a patch panel. Can add the device description. Device type, we select the 24-port copper patch panel that we created. Because we did this from the rack, we have the positions, everything populated, and we can select our tenancy. So we have our patch panel in this rack. Then we need to add a patch panel in our network rack. So devices, give this a name. Device role, this is a patch panel. Device type, this is a 24-port copper patch panel. Accra DC, which rack? Network rack. Front facing, we'll put this in unit 22. Then we select our tenancy. So we have our patch panel. So if you go back to our diagram, we've created the patch panel and we've added a patch panel each in our compute rack and in our network rack. Next, we need to do our cabling. We need to connect cables between the rear port on both patch panels. Then we need cabling from our devices to our front port. We would focus on cabling fully in our next lesson. We'll look at how to create the cables manually and how to do bulk import using either a CSV formatted syntax or using a CSV file. If you find this video helpful, kindly double check if you've subscribed, and if not, please do and like this video. Thank you very much.